Alright, now, I'm sure like a lot of people, I was not expecting the Caps to win it all this year. So, I mean, the DC curse is over, I guess, now, and what I'm really looking at is the Nationals, because the Nationals have had the same problem as the Caps had for all these years, which is they're so goddamn good in the regular season, and then once it's playoff time, it's bedtime at that point because the Cavs hadn't made it past the second round. The Nationals are always losing in the DS every fucking year. And I mean, Washington, this is a city that's got all kinds of superstars. I mean, Ovechkin, one of the best of his generation, probably the second best of his generation after Crosby. I mean, no one else has been that good other than him and Crosby. And then if you look at the Nationals, they've got the second best player also in the world, in my opinion, with Bryce Harper. So it's time. It's DC time. And if you look at the Wizards, they've got John Wall too. A lot of people think, well, before this year maybe, they thought he was the best point guard in the league, and I mean, he could live up to that potential again next year. But it's like Washington is not a city that hasn't had superstars. They had RG3. It was Rookie of the Year. Everyone thought he was amazing. And then, well, we know what happened there, but this just takes the pressure off all of the other three teams to, finally make it. Like the Wizards hadn't, until a few years ago, had gone like ages without winning the division. And the Caps every fucking year would win their division. Every fucking year. 100 points. They were winning President's trophies, all kinds of shit, and then they just couldn't get by. The Penguins, Rangers, Flyers could not get by them. And then, once they beat them, it's like, they can beat anybody, and they did. They beat the Lightning, probably the best team in the league, and then they beat everyone's favorite fucking team, Vegas. So, if you're the Nationals, like, the pressure's off of you now. Because the Nationals, man, that's a loaded squad. Obviously, you've got the offense with Harper and Rendon and Daniel Murphy when he gets back and all those guys. But the pitching, too. Scherzer, Strasburg, Gonzalez, all in the same squad. And, they're set for a while, too. But you gotta fucking get by the NLDS, man. And it could be a similar situation with them than with the Caps, whereas if you can get past the NLDS like no one fucking expects you to, then all the pressure's off. You're playing with house money at that point. Like, you're the underdogs pretty much. So, yeah, don't be surprised if the Nationals go far in the playoffs. Don't be surprised if the Nationals win the World Series this year. Just because, the curse is over. Seems like every time a Boston team wins, they all fucking win, so maybe it's the same here. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.